Hi, this is Born62, I'm Henrik Jürs. Today we will look at the front raise, which is an isolation exercise from the front part of the deltoid. It's an old exercise, it's been around since Arnold's days and probably before. What you do is you have a dumbbell in each hand and you simply raise up your arms in front of you, alternate from one arm to the other. You can do both arms at a time, but this places more stress in your lower back and it's really not necessary. You can also switch the dumbbells in mid-air like this. Again, it places more pressure on your core and especially your lower back, and it doesn't benefit your shoulders a whole lot. So I think it's better to keep one arm down your side while you raise it up the other. Needless to say, at the start of the movement, as gravity is pulling the dumbbell downward, there's not much resistance, but as your arm gets longer, the vector gets longer as you raise it up here, the dumbbell will feel more and more heavy, you'll feel more and more resistance. You should raise it up to a point just above eye level and no further. Some people like to raise them up here, but the last part of the movement will actually be your trapezius and not your delts, and there's no need to raise them that high. So this is actually all there is to it. I'll show you in a minute, but let us first discuss the hand position and thereby the rotation of the arm. In almost any book you will see that the hand comes up like this, with the back of the hand on top, and you have a slight internal rotation of the arm. By having a slight internal rotation, the lateral part of the delt is also working, and well, it needs work probably, but if it's an isolation of the front delt you want, you're much better off with a neutral grip like this, because you'll then come up in this position, attacking or engaging the frontal part of the delt much better. Also, an internal rotation can be a bit harsh on your shoulder joints. So if your shoulders hurt sometimes and you don't really like to do front raises the traditional way, then you should raise your hands like this instead in a neutral grip. So I'll show you both versions. Last, should you raise your hands out to positions like this, or should you keep them together? If you keep them in towards the center line, you'll engage your upper pec, and if you like to engage that, well, you should keep your hands in here. Otherwise, only to isolate the shoulders, you should keep them directly in front of the shoulder. So let's see it. Here we go. First the traditional position. Sometimes you see people who simply swing up the weight and then let it fall. This is not a dumbbell swing or kettlebell swing for that matter. You're supposed to raise it up in a controlled manner and lower it again in a controlled way. And now for the neutral position. Feels much easier in the shoulder joints. And now we can take the weights into the center line like this, and the upper part of the pectoral muscles are also working when we go to the inside here. That's it really. So try out these variations and see what works for you. As always, I'll urge you to try out with light dumbbells at first and then move upwards. If you think you can handle the same kind of weight as you can in presses, you will be disappointed. As I said, as the arm comes up to a position parallel to the floor, the weight will feel much more heavy than it did down here. So usually people will have to lower the expectations a lot and use lighter dumbbells. But try it out and see what works for you. This is a great exercise and an exercise that's been known for a lot of years. So until next time, have some great workouts. Hi.